Mumbo makes fairly complicated redstone contraptions, but they only work on Java Edition, and if you don't understand Java Redstone, it can be rather confusing. Now you can be interested and confused in Java Redstone, but this video will help you understand it better on Bedrock, and it kind of falls apart when I'm trying to do the same intro. But yeah, this is just Mumbo's redstone contraptions on Bedrock Edition. Let's get into the video. I just want to say that this video is based around Mumbo Jumbo's newest video, Redstone Builds Everyone Should Know, and I guess I'm halfway through already because I watch it often.
I make fairly complicated...
But yeah, that's where I got ideas, I guess, because I'm converting them. I think it's pretty obvious. But yeah, link to that is in the description, I guess. In this video, I'm going to be going over all the same redstone builds that Mumbo did, and some of them are converted a little bit. They're changed so that they work on Bedrock Edition, and also if in the corners it has green, then it is built the exact same. If it's yellow, then it is slightly modified but still works and looks the same. And if it's red, then it either doesn't work in Bedrock, or like this one, I just didn't want to design it because it didn't work his way and it was going to be pretty big, so I just gave up. Circuit number 1, the auto dropper. As you see, this one has yellow corners because it is slightly modified. His had like some quasi stuff powering this dropper, and so yeah, I had to modify it slightly. It could probably even be smaller and closer to his design, but it still works the same. You put in some stuff, and it automatically drops it out, and it looks like this, just like that, and yeah. Next up is the redstone light button panel. This one has red, but also slightly yellow, because I'm fairly certain it is definitely possible. In Java Edition, you can easily have a one-wide T flip-flop, but in Bedrock, they are either powered with redstone dust, which obviously doesn't make it tileable. Well, maybe not obviously, this is for people that don't understand redstone, I guess. It doesn't make it tileable. And then there's another T flip-flop that works in Bedrock, except that it's really hard to fit it in to where it fits here, but I'm sure you could do it, but I didn't because I want to make this video. The keycard reader. This one has green corners because it works the exact same. See, the redstone goes with that, and then with something else, nothing happens. Circuit number 4, the hopper minecart loading station. This one has yellow corners because it is slightly different. It works pretty much the same. You can select how much you want it to pick up here. Yeah, it's just different. It works differently. And also this was stolen, kind of, from Animus J. Link to his video is in the description. Next up, we've got the hopper minecart unloader. This one has green corners because it works the exact same way. It just goes over there, like that, and it empties into the chest. Now apparently the incredibly popular one, the item filter. This one also has green corners because it is the same way to build it. I built it slightly different, not that part, but up here, just because I didn't want to copy it block for block, because that is frustrating sometimes. That wasn't really a long one. Right, now button selector panel. This one has a green corner and the rest are actually half and half, because it is pretty much the same. It works the same, except his had glass because of quasi and stuff. Yours just has solid blocks there. Next up, we've got the piston feed tape. This one is the exact same, except I probably built the wiring slightly different, and you can technically make it smaller just because of redstone redirecting into pistons. But yeah, it works the same. I just didn't want to build it block for block because frustration. Next up, we've got the smart piston. This one has green corners because it works the exact same way. Next up, we've got another piston feed tape. This one has green corners because it works the exact same way. Even if it's just to look really, really cool. Wait, that doesn't really make any sense. Oh well. Water elevator. This one has yellow corners because it technically works the same way, except the redstone has to be built different because he used some target blocks, I think was the one for this one. So yeah, you have to slightly change it a bit, but it still works. Next up, we've got the grass path switch. This one has green corners because it works the exact same way. Also, you can use the shovel for grass path. But also, I made a second one with yellow corners because it's technically faster and a lot simpler and I'm not entirely certain why this one wasn't used, other than when it turns to grass like that, then it gets another piston, I guess, maybe, because then that gives it away, but I'm not sure if that is that important. Next up, we have got the dropper vader. This one has yellow corners because you have to build it slightly different, like this. Also, it also has a bit of red just because the design I made really quickly isn't quite entirely lossless, I guess. Like, you end up, how close are we? Okay, there we go. You end up with one left in the top one and one in the second bottom one. So, you know, it's not the most efficient, but it technically works because when you put more stuff in, then those will come out first. And now for one of Mumbo's personal favorites, vertical flying machines. This one has yellow corners because a two-way flying machine is slightly different in Bedrock. Actually, it's very different because you have to use glazed terracotta and stuff. Because sticky pistons don't push out their block if they're wanting pulsed. So then you have to make it different, and you have to push it back and forth instead of using droppers. But it still works. The zero-tick smart piston. Okay, this one has red corners because it's just completely useless because sticky pistons don't spit out their blocks, as I just said. And, well, yeah, it's kind of just not a thing. The TNT duplicator. Okay, this one was supposed to be the TNT duplicator thing, except that also doesn't work on Bedrock. But if you, I don't have TNT on me, so I'll just use this. If you do something like this and then try to shift click it out as it's being pulled back, you have to time it well, then it will duplicate the items, but it's also really hard to do. So, yeah, there we go. The horizontal flying machine. This one is the same as the vertical one. The same story, you can't have the sticky pistons go out and whatever. And also, yeah, this shouldn't break anything. Well, that might. No, we're fine. You can also put slime blocks out to the side like that. Actually, no, we're still good. Yeah, so I think that he said that somewhere in the video. I haven't been checking anymore. I just have faith in my memory. He's also a massive fan of piston feed tapes. This one works the same. I have yellows just because I didn't want to build it block for block, but I bet you could build it block for block and it would work just fine. The automatic minecart station. This one works just the same and also has green corners because it is also built the same. Except, I guess, you get out of the minecart here in the hopper instead of on the torch, but I feel like that is pretty close. And last, but definitely not least, the TNT cannon. This one works the same way, except also I changed it to a trapdoor because with the fence, it never actually exploded anything. So then I just switched it to a trapdoor, because, watch this, it just goes up into the sky and blows up in the middle, so, yeah. And that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button down below. And also, this was by Mumbo, there's a link to his video. And, yeah, if you want me to do other converting his builds to Bedrock, please comment below, I guess, I don't know. Or like the button, like the button, yep, the button of likes. Yeah, also, I did a lot of British accents. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at it. I also wanted to mention that I'm probably a lot clearer when I'm doing the little black screen, because when I'm doing the gameplay, I'm looking at my screen and my mic isn't centralized on the screen, so then I'm looking away, but then when I do the black screen, I'm looking towards the mic. So yeah, I guess I have to move my mic. But yeah, that's the end. See ya!